Good morning. I've been trying to make this video over 5 different times and keep getting interrupted. So hopefully no interruptions and I could just post this video. Anyway, I'm going to give you an update for the July job market or for cloud, for Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud. What I'm also going to talk to you about is a growing trend that people can hop on and on with in the cloud sector. It's nothing new, but it's becoming very popular, especially this year. And I'll tell you why. So yeah, and before I continue, look, if anyone out there has a question, query, just want a little bit of advice on something, pop a message into the chat, not in the chat, but in the comments below. And, I'll get back to you, I swear. Won't be the same day, might not be the same week, but I will get back to you. Anyway, I usually talk about the broader side, the more popular technologies and stuff like that. What I'm seeing is that there's a growing trend for Azure security, or should I say cloud security. Cloud security it's always been popular, but it's getting even more in depth or more demand. It's getting such more demand that, I'm starting to see folks from America getting staff here in England as well. So that's really good. Oh, and Europe as well. So what does that mean? Really simple. Your skills are in demand. There's not enough people in the market. And what you need as well is that it's just like remote work is possible for permanent or self-employed contractor, whatever. Personally, I like to just work from home. I don't want to go into the office. I think getting to meet my peers and stuff like that on Teams or Slack or whatever is more than enough for me because my family's got to come first. We do have like a every quarter meetup when it comes to employees. But the point I'm trying to make is that if you are looking for a job to pay you a particular amount of money, or and you want full remote, it's out there. You just have to be patient in getting that. Okay, so let's just talk about what I'm seeing. So hopefully you can see my screen, and as in terms of Azure security, as in its popularity. Okay, I never look for the jobs that are not posted because I never know who's fishing, but there's over 1,000 different contracts. Well, 932. Some of these jobs will overlap, but point being is that there's plenty of work out there. Just refining that to permanent, 3,196. Just basically refine that. It's 2,148. And when it comes to being paid £100,000 or more, wow, it's bursting at 200, as you can see here. So that's really good. But security is something that's tremendously growing. I got an email from a colleague of mine who wanted to get into security, and he just did a little bit of research, and there's a free training from ICS Square. If I find the link, I'll post it below. But point being is that, look, if you want to get in cloud, you want to get in security, and you wonder if it's going to pay well, it pays well. Everything pays well, if you ask me. But here is the new kid on the block, so to speak. Now, I did say that this isn't anything new. It's been around for some time. I did a few FinOps contracts back in 2018 and 2019 before COVID. And, if I told a recruiter I'm doing FinOps, they would be like, what was that? Never heard about it, never discussed it. So I had to tell them what it was. But let's look for the definition of what the FinOps.org says that there are, shall we? So FinOps, the definition is this. It says FinOps is an evolving cloud financial management discipline and culture practice that enables organizations to get maximum business value by helping engineering, finance, technology, and business teams to collaborate on data-driven spending decisions. Right, that's a mouthful, isn't it? What FinOps is, ladies and gentlemen, in my humble opinion, is that A lot of organizations thought that cloud was going to be this silver lining for very cheap technology for their business to be as productive as maximum as possible and spend as least as least as possible in comparison to having your own data center. How wrong are they? Basically, what it is that it's really easy to spin resources up, regardless of what cloud technology you're running. But if you don't manage your cloud platform properly, it costs more than actually having some things on premise. It really does. Okay, sure, you got to pay for your own electric, cooling, security, insurance, and your own warranties and stuff like that. But point being is that it could end up being a whole lot more expensive than having your own stuff on data center cloud, that is. So what FinOps really is that is how do you drive down costs with maximum production without impact to your end users and your profit margin. That's basically all it is. And FinOps is basically a clever person who's going into an organization to say, hey, I found if you turn off these 1,000 virtual machines at between the hours of 7 and 10, where it's no longer needed, because you can see the CPU threshold is very, very low to nothing because there's no activity, you will save yourself X amount of money. And you go through the whole process of that. Also, it's trying to understand about automation and a whole bundle of other stuff. I'm just very high level at this. There's more to FinOps, but the point being is that, this is getting very popular. Now, let's take a little gamble. Let's take a little look. This is DevOps, but one finding is that it's on the contracting side of things. So if I just take the first one to the very top, and if I look at what they're seeing here, is development, design, documentation, drive the cost, efficient design of cloud workflows by range of internal and external architects and engineers. Development decision tree to assist architects and engineers to understand, select the optimal Azure configurations of Microsoft licensing options. Basically, in my opinion, is that you have an architect that says, I wish to deploy this part, or let's go back. We have our CIOs, CEOs, our financials, whatever. Somebody needs a technology decision. Users, the architect solution basically creates the design and says, this is what I propose to be able to get this to how to say, deliver an application that the business actually wants to promote. As a FinOps architect or cloud FinOps architect, what you tend to do is that you look at that design and go, right, the things that we haven't factored in is that, okay, what the SLAs for this is basically 99.5, let's say, but they've got it scale at 99.9. So is your high availability disaster recovery really configured to match that? So that alone, you're scaling down on the expense. The other thing is that, people could say, like in Azure, you're looking for size EF machines, but when you actually calculate it properly, you don't need that much. I don't know, like Ds will be, ample enough or something like that. Just those kind of things at very high level, and just keeping this very high level. There's more to it. You dive more into FinOps, but the point being is that it's getting more popular. Now, what will happen in the very beginning is that FinOps will be something that where somebody goes, all right, I just want you to analyze what my solutions architect are dishing out. What will happen is that eventually it would evolve into, you need to know how CI/CD works if you're not doing that already. You need to know automation of ARM, Terraform, all these sort of things. So you're not going to get away from the basics, because you need to know the basics of how this actually is. So that's where I'm seeing it up to today. So if we see where this is in the popularity side of things, here, Azure FinOps. Oops. 1 through 4. Let me see. Maybe if I just go FinOps. It's relatively new kid on the block, in my opinion. It's not new, but it's getting popular. And you're going to see things like this spring up a lot more. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed that. So in this video, we covered talking about the industry of, it's very popular, it's very in demand. Any skills that you have in cloud is really good. All I'm suggesting is that if you were looking for a particular rate or a particular specification, like you want full remote and not hybrid, then just tell the recruiters who give you a call, that's what you're looking for. And eventually what will happen is that their clients will probably say, hey, sure, the guy has the skills and everything on CV. He's looking for full remote in comparison to the other people who've been interviewed. Let's bring him on. Or you just have patience, look for the right job that comes around at the right time. And we cover off about, what's getting popular is FinOps. Okay, it's always been around, but it's getting in more demand because a lot of people are seeing they're spending a lot more on cloud than they actually anticipated. Yeah, it's not cheap. And that's it. I hope, I've inspired you. I hope I've added value to your day. If not, just make a comment below. Always happy to help. And that's it. Have a good day. See you soon.